28.
28.
28 piccolos.
30.
30 clarinets.
31.
31.
31 trumpets.
22.
22.
22 mellophones.
11 baritones.
23.
23. 23 alto saxes. 12.
12 tenor saxes.
27.
27 drummers.
2 majorettes.
11 trombones.
4.
4.
4 drum majors.
13. 13 tubas.
16. 16. 16 color guard. This
This
is the pride of the ACC.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Pride of the ACC. My name is Adam Pohl, joined by the head of University Bands, Jeff Fuchs, as we take a look at the week that was here for the Marching Tar Heels. So, Jeff, we got another great show here today, as we're going to take a look back at one of our great alumni, somebody that was involved with the program for so long in El Fisseha, and we've got the 2013 cartoon show. A lot for us to take a look at here today. But we wanted to start, by looking at kind of where things stand right now, the realities of where the marching band is in such an unusual semester.
Yeah, this has been kind of a hard week, Adam, with the realities finally coming to roost. And we've now met the course requirements for the class for the semester in terms of the number of hours the students need to meet. And with that, we've been in the unfortunate position due to the budget that we've had to basically furlough all of our instructional staff for the remainder of the year and the season. So our majorette instructor, our dance team coaches, guard instructors, drumline instructor, at this point, we've suspended all activity for those groups, and with it, the compensation for those staff members. And so we've had a great fall with them, and the kids are going to continue to meet. In all cases, they're going to continue to meet and grow on their own. It's just, one of the realities of the situation that we're facing right now. And we hope if we re-engage with the students in the spring semester, we'll bring them back on board. But for right now, it was a reality we had to face.
It's just so hard. And the good thing about all of this is that in the long term, the hope is that we can get back to normal and be the Marching Tar Heels that the university and the community loves and adores. And but for right now, it's an unusual year. We're not able to do what we usually do, and you're having to take these types of steps to kind of get through it.
Yeah, and fortunately the staff understands. We brought them all on with this understanding that it was a possibility, and we fought it off as long as we possibly could. And but with that also comes the opportunity that the students are going to stay engaged. And as you said, we certainly hope that talks on campus right now are all about how we're going to do the spring semester and what that's going to look like. And so optimistic that we will have the kids back on campus in January, and we'll have the band back together and playing again. And we'll be able to bring those people back and engage them again with the students and pick up right where we left off. And so yeah, there's positive on the other side. We just have to get through this bump in the road and do our part to help absorb some of the real significant budget issues that the university and the athletic department are facing.
And Jeff, this show, I guess, is one of those ways in which we're trying to bridge that gap, right? And trying to keep our community together.
Absolutely. That's the most important thing. You know, I tell the students all the time, you know, in any time you have a challenge, you have the option of whether you react to it or respond to it. And I think the key for all of us in this situation is we have to respond, and we have to figure out the positive way to move forward. And you know, one of my favorite sayings all the time is Sylvia Hatchell, our former women's basketball coach. She always said that the most important decision you make every day is the first decision you make every day. And that decision is whether it's going to be a good day or a bad day. And I think we all, especially right now, it's important that we all get up every day and decide it's going to be a good day, and then do everything we can to make that come about. Because gosh, it sure is easy to be miserable all the time if you don't take if you don't do something to change this. Yeah, we're trying to respond in positive ways, and yes, this show is a great way. We get the kids involved. We get to bring back some of our alums. We get to meet our staff, and so it's a way to keep the group together, albeit virtually.
So let's meet one of our staff members. Andrew Lovett is a very interesting guy. I mean, a UNCG grad that works with your flutes and clarinets. He's in a salsa band. I mean, what does he not do?
Yeah, he's a very talented young man, and such a laid back individual. And he came to us by way of Matthew Perinack. They play in the same salsa band, and he's now teaching over at Durham Academy with another one of our alumni, Michael Myers. And he's with us for the marching band. He's been a great asset to our staff, and I'm sure you all will enjoy getting to meet Andrew.
Well, my name is Andrew Lovett, and I help to teach the clarinets and flutes with the Marching Tar Heels alongside Mr. Perinack. And this is my third year with the organization. It's a lot different because at UNCG, most people know this, we don't march. They have a pep band, but I spent every year since I got out of high school teaching marching band in some sort of capacity. And the groups I've worked with have grown over time, but UNC is the biggest and the loudest and the most excellent. And it's a different culture and a different sound too. There's so much depth to the sound with those numbers. So it's been really eye-opening. I started my career in public school. I taught at a K-8 school in Charlotte, CMS. But now I'm actually teaching in a private school. I'm teaching at Durham Academy. And the experience during COVID has been odd. I think it's been odd for everybody, but I consider myself one of the lucky ones because we have an abundance of resources. One thing is we're one-to-one with iPads for kids. Every single one of my students has an iPad, and with the same applications, and I'm allowed to get more. So even though we're having to do learning at a distance, we're positioned to do a lot of music making. So I feel like one of the lucky ones, but it's been daunting and odd. I won't lie. My primary instrument is saxophone, but I do play other woodwinds. So I feel confident with clarinets and flutes. One thing that I think makes them such a special group is just how organized and talented they are, and how quick they are to get things done just on their own. These students fix so many mistakes and run so much of the program just without me. Sometimes I feel like I have to know when to stand back, and that's kind of the struggle teaching, just knowing when to kind of lay back and figure out how do things actually work here, because I wasn't a student in the program, but I am ever able to offer musical expertise because I feel pretty confident with those instruments. I've followed a band director named Chris Hathcock for a long time, and while I was working for him at C.E. Jordan High School, I met Matt Perinack. And we connected there, started playing salsa, and eventually he invited me to come and see what UNC was about. And when I got to meet Jeff, we had dinner together, we spoke, and I got to come and be a part of the organization. And ever since then, I've just seen it as like a model of musical excellence, excellence and community, actually. Because I said earlier, I really admire how students take ownership of so much of the program. Like the student leadership is robust, active, and they get things done at the drop of a hat without even having to tell them, it seems like, from my perspective. Yeah.
Welcome back here to the Pride of the ACC. Jeff, last week we gave what we call in the show, the radio business per se, of course this is our webcast, but we call it the tease. We gave the tease about our Heart the Sound promotion that we're going to do with our alumni and current students coming into for our last show this year. Now, we have not been able to put up the click track yet for everybody to get their Heart the Sound to us with, but we wanted to sound the call that it's coming soon.
Yeah, we hope to have that up this week. We've got everything ready to go. We just had a little difficulty pulling the click track together. Going back in and putting the click track with a performance that's already recorded can be a little bit of a challenge because there is some fluctuation in the tempo. But we've got all the music ready to go, and we'll get that click track out hopefully this week yet.
I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. I'm telling you, I had one of my old buddies from the Marching Tar Heels in my era, Brent Anthony, a trumpet player. He was the screamer of my era. He said he's coming. He's bringing the heat, Jeff. So we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be great to see really a few generations of Marching Tar Heel members be a part of that. Right now, though, we want to celebrate the current members of the Marching Tar Heels. And this week, we're really focused on our guard. That's the section that we're going to focus right now. And I know this was a tough week in a way for the guard because it was, you mentioned it prior in our first segment, Jeff, but it was this week the last class meeting for this semester for the guard group.
Yeah, it was. And they had a great class session on Tuesday night. The culmination for their semester was they all were charged with picking a piece of music, 45 seconds to a minute, and creating their own choreography to the music, and then sharing it with the entire group. So Tuesday night we gathered online for about an hour and a half and watched their choreography, performance of that choreography, and talked about it. And it was really great to see the students after a semester of individual work. You know, usually they're all performing together at the same time, and you really have to work to watch them individually. And this semester, because of the way it's been, everything has been focused on the individual. And there's been great growth because it's been on individual effort and attention. And tonight was really a great reward and great fun watching them express themselves, both through the music they picked, through the choreography they wrote, and then just them performing in their driveway or their backyard. Would have thought they were on stage somewhere in front of thousands of people, not on the driveway in front of someone holding the camera. So they had fun watching them.
Well, let's take a look at our guard here from this year.
Hi, my name is Sam Howell, and I'm one of the color guard captains at UNC. I'm a management and society major and a history minor from Wilmington, North Carolina.
Hi, my name is Destiny Moore, and I am a junior from Harrisburg, North Carolina, majoring in exercise and sports science.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Renatza, and I'm a senior from Harrisburg, North Carolina, and I'm currently studying journalism and history.
There are 16 members of the color guard this year. We have 3 freshmen, 2 sophomores, 7 juniors, and 4 seniors.
At the beginning of each week, our instructors send out video packages of dance and equipment technique and routines for us to learn at home. At the end of the week, we sent back videos of us performing.
Color guard looks a little different this year because all of our classes are online, but luckily we were able to spend together during band camp.
Well, it's time to take a look at one of our alumni, and we're featuring really the alum that for you, Jeff, has been a part of the program longer than any other. It was not due to scholastic ineptitude, as was my attempt at the university to be in the band as long as I could, but for El Fisseha, I'll tell you this, El, you know, in soccer, the great soccer players, they don't call them by both names. You know, it's Maradona or it's Messi or Ronaldo. That L's like that for the marching Tar Heels, right? I mean, if you say L, that's all you need to say, right?
That's right. You said it all. Say L, and I tell you, she is. I've told the kids for so long that the longer she was with us, the dumber I got because she almost got to the point where I didn't even have to go into work. She just she would tell me what to do every day. But yes, she came to us as a transfer student and was a work study student, and gosh, she's just so reliable and mature, and we kept her on after she graduated. Eventually, got her up to part-time and then to full-time, and 20 years later, she moved up to the department business manager. So the good news is instead of being about 20 steps away, she's about 120 steps away. And but yeah, what a great young lady, great family. Her kids and her husband are every bit as much of our family as anything. They've come to games. So Elle has been a huge part of the success of the band program the last 25 years.
And you know what, Jeff? I mean, it's interesting because she started this role. You know, when I was in the Marching Tar Heels and I was a work study student with Elle, there was no person that did what Elle has done for the last 2 decades for the organization and, of course, for the music department as a whole.
Yeah, when I first got here, we had band managers that were student positions. And we got to the point where there was so much money moving in and out of the office between band camp fees and ticket sales and merchandise sales that it just got to be a little concerning that there was so much money changing hands. And we had some great band managers. And they were also arranging year after year band camp meals and transportation. And with Elle, we consolidated all that into one person. So there was some continuity and a little greater accountability there. It made it a little easier first for Brian Doyle and I, in that we had a professional in the office that we knew when they were going to be there. We didn't have to rely on work study students as much, and she could steer that ship a little bit more. And then as time went on, she literally was the administrator for the band program and took care of everything from arranging travel arrangements to instrument inventory to all of those things. That allowed us to do the things, you know, we had a saying for a long time in the office, do only those things that only you can do. That possible.
Well, folks, you're going to really enjoy catching up with Elle. For many of you, you will not be meeting Elle. You've known her if you're an alumni or you're a current student with the Marching Tar Heels, but you'll get a great or have a great time seeing Elle and her family right here.
All right, well, my name is El Fisseha. I was in the Marching Tar Heels as a student from 1999 to 2002. And after I graduated from UNC, Mr. Fuchs was kind enough to give me a job. So I hung around until, 2019 as the administrator for the UNC Bands. So my total run with the Marching Tar Heels was 20 years, and I loved every minute of it. And during that time, many of our viewers may remember, I had 3 children, and here they are. This is Desta. She is now 14 years old, plays trombone. Liu in the back there is turning 12 on Friday, and she plays trumpet. And the little guy here is TC. He's 6, and he's experimenting around with xylophone and piano.
And other instruments. I love instruments.
I loved music and marching band from an early age, and enjoyed it all through high school. So there was no question I was going to continue when I got to college. And I actually spent my first year of college at UNCG and transferred to Chapel Hill when I was a sophomore. And when I got there, immediately fell in love with the marching band program, as so many people do. And I approached Mr. Fuchs and said, hey, this is something I really enjoy. I'd like to be more involved. And he mentioned that he had been looking to maybe have an administrator, some support, because he and the assistant director were running the program. They had a lot of students involved in the band who were serving as managers and really helping out. But he was looking for some consistency, someone that could be there year after year. So he said, why don't you come work for me? We'll do it as a test position to see if there's enough work. And very quickly it became clear that there was. And before I knew it, I'd been there for 20 years. It was interesting. There wasn't a job description, so to speak. I mean, we had some ideas of what it was going to be, but it really was, as you said, kind of carving it out. And I liked that. I liked that challenge. I liked the ability for some creativity. I loved, I think about how a couple of years previous, I was with my high school band marching in the Tar Heel Invitational. And now all of a sudden I'm helping run and put on the Tar Heel Invitational. So it was an amazing experience, and certainly something that, I think I was a little starstruck, if that's the right word, just being able to be part of a program that I had so much respect for and held in such high esteem. It's been really neat to see not only the growth, but the things that have stayed the same. One of the top priorities of the band staff and director and assistant director has always been the student experience. And so every year there was an evaluation of what did we do well, what can we do better, what things can we tweak, always, getting feedback from the students, and then adjusting accordingly to make sure that we're supporting our teams and providing this wonderful experience for the fans, but also just having this amazing student experience. And so over the course of time, many things changed, the way we feed the band, the way we would travel. But then there were some traditions that were just deep rooted in the heart of Carolina that stayed the same throughout the entire time that I worked with the group. I think the number one most valuable experience that I gained, and there are a lot, but number one is the relationships and the interactions I had with the students. And I have fond memories of so many. The ones I knew well, the ones I knew briefly, there's so much heart and life in a family like the Marching Tar Heels. And I value those experiences a lot. So now I'm the business manager for the Department of Music. Department of Music as a whole is something near and dear to my heart. And I was very pleased to be able to kind of take a professional and career step moving towards that role. It's basically the HR and finance management for the entire department. All of them have grown up, going to football games and sitting behind the band. And when we go to basketball games, we always make sure to go down and say hey to Mr. Fuchs. He really has been like an extra grandparent for them, which has been such a treat. And I always say that band students are the best students. They're kind, they're embracing, they're accepting, and so I'm so thankful that they got to spend the early and mid years of growing up with that environment around them, and it's definitely influenced their love for music So it's just been invaluable to have music, and in particular UNC music, be a part of their lives. It is such an incredibly positive influence, and I'm so thankful for it.
Want to look back and catching up with Elle right there. We're going to take a look back now at a live performance from the past, Jeff. And I'll tell you, I really enjoyed this one. It was from back in 2013, and you guys did a cartoon show. I love the music, but you incorporated some other elements into everything, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a student by the name of Michael Stock in the band, and he was so talented with editing video and all this, and the video board was just really coming into its own, and the capabilities of what we could do. And we wanted to do a show that used that video board along with the band and integrated it fully into a halftime show. And with Michael's talent with editing and all of that, we put this show together, and it was so fun. Rented costumes that we needed to rent and spent on campus, videotaping, which turned out to be a great teaser for the show, because people would see us going out on campus with these characters and wonder what was going on. And then we included Dan Huff from our faculty as the announcer for Dan.
He's got a pretty good voice.
He's got a great voice and did a good job in this thing. Even included a couple campus personalities that were willing to play along. And
well, I got to ask you about that, because Chancellor Folt was a part of this performance. How did you get the Chancellor involved?
You know, Carol was awesome. She was so supportive of anything students did, and particularly the band. And yeah, you know, it was a phone call. I called over and asked to speak with her assistant, and I told them what we had in mind, and she said, "You better ask Carol about this yourself." And through, and I told her what we wanted to do, and she was like, "Absolutely," and no hesitation at all on her part.
That is awesome. Well, this was a unique one. You're really going to enjoy it. The cartoon show from 2013.
And now, please welcome the Marching Tar Heels.
We interrupt tonight's halftime show to bring you breaking news from the old well. Let's go to this exclusive video captured by the security camera located in South Building. Apparently, Ramses is leading the search for this suspect who was spotted near the scene of the crime. Instantly, Ramses, dedicated to truth, justice, and peace for all Carolina fans, finds Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble outside Kenan Stadium, still tailgating. Meanwhile, over at South Building, Chancellor Folt is giving a campus tour to everybody's favorite canine sleuth, Scooby-Doo. And over at the Student Union, Rocky and Bullwinkle are watching reruns of their encounters with Natasha and Boris when our hero arrives to seek their help. Later, down near the Smith Center, there is an important meeting taking place.
Hello, this is Bubba. Hello? Hello? Oh, no. Yes, the code word is CAROLINA. It's for you.
Suddenly, as he sees the villain.
Who could this villain be?
Thanks to Ramses and his group of friends, we can rest well tonight, knowing that the university we know as ours is back to normal. Please welcome our heroes to Keene Stadium.
Well, that was a lot of fun, the cartoon show. And I'll tell you, Jeff, you know, I got to talk about my boys. I thought the trumpets were featured and they sounded great in that show. And, you know, I got to give love to my trumpets, right?
Yeah, hey! Yeah, the band did very well with that show. It was a fun night in Keaton Stadium.
Well, folks, episode 9 is in the books, and this was a lot of fun. So, Jeff, you know, I know it was a tough week overall with everything you had to do with the staff and everything, but we've got a whole nother month and change of shows, and we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we are too. We have some exciting news to announce next week about some alumni band reunion things going on. So make sure you come back next week so we can talk about how we're going to do virtual alumni band this year.
I love it. Stay tuned for that. So once again, thank you so much for watching the Pride of the ACC. For Jeff Fuchs, my name is Adam Pohl. We'll see you again next week. Have a great week, everybody.